mai ki UFC On Sky Koravinda Hunia Tōku Ingoa. It's fight week for UFC 293 and we are downtown Sydney at the traditional open workout session where the fighters are going to come out any minute and show off a little bit in front of their fans.
Hands up if you were there in 2019 when I became undisputed UFC champ. Hands up. Yeah. It's been a while.
The 293 features 10 fighters from both New Zealand and Australia, and while it's all fun and games today at the Sydney Town Hall, let me tell you they are getting down to business. We start tonight's show with our main event duo, Israel Adesanya and Sean Strickland, and I learned very quickly that these two are taking two very different approaches to the... There's this thing going on this weekend,
in case you didn't know. I got Sean Strickland.
There's a guy.
Fight. Yeah. Some guy from China can fight, whatever, I don't know, beat his ass, whatever.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great because we've got 6 guys fighting on the card. It's one of these moments that's historic again. And of course, I'm glad you guys are here because you guys are the real ones who actually cover it for New Zealand, but it's very heavily underrated and undercovered because the bureaucrats don't like what we do and no human cockfighting, but because it's about the people. And we have the internet now, and we have you guys. And shout out to Sky Sports as well for putting it on. Appreciate you, the new president. Appreciate you. I feel like this is just one of those moments that's historic, and we're gonna make history again and again and again. And it's just, I'm so happy to be a part of it. I'm still young. I'm still in this game. And there's moments I catch myself just looking around. I'm just like, we're really doing this shit. Like we're in this. So yeah, I soak it in. I stay present.
Yeah, let's talk about soaking it in because we could see you soaking it in at the ceremony earlier today. You were taking in the sun, you were taking in the earth and the water. What was that feeling
the elements. Not because I just realized since Thursday I haven't really tapped into the elements, and I felt like, I just touched on in Australia yesterday. We were doing the ceremony from the original people, the OGs of the land. So I was like, I got to tap into the elements, and then they did a smoke ceremony. I went in there, bathed my fists, my elbows, my knees, my legs. Took in the smoke, even with the, he didn't call it a didgeridoo, the instrument, even when it was playing, I remember I had my madra hand sign and I just kind of like felt the vibration of the instrument pulse through me. And I was just like trying to soak it in. And I tap into these elements because it's not some woo-woo shit. I've actually seen the magic that happens when you really tap into these elements. So I'm a cultured man, put it that way.
Yeah, I was talking to Shane about it too, and we were talking about how, as Māori, it felt familiar. I mean, not totally familiar,
no, but it is. It's all tapped in. It's all tapped in from native people worldwide. How come there's so many different pyramids worldwide, and no one knows how they build them, And even in Antarctica, there's some pyramids that are covered up by snow, but no one's how they got there. How are they so in line with True North and the cosmos and whatnot? We've lost these informations, but we're all tapped in at one point. We all knew the same singularity of the mindset or whatever, or the one.
How much does that whakamana or empower you moving forward?
Heavily, because there's a lot of us, and, shout out to Alex Pereira, actually, since the last fight, leading up to that, I saw how in touch he was with his culture, that I had to do my own rituals to get in touch with my culture and my higher self. And that helped me tremendously in that camp. And then going forward into my life, this fight, I didn't really have to tap into the dark side too much, but this is violent, this is a violent sport. So I get a little taste and I use it to empower me and the light as well. But just having the gang here is just something that's palpable, and that's what's fueling me this weekend.
Well, Sean, first of all, thank you so much.
Oh, now we're going live.
Yeah, we're not live.
Not
we're just
live.
recording.
We're just recording. I feel like I'm like sitting down to like an interview. Like, what did I do wrong?
Like 60 minutes, like a...
like 60 minutes. Hey, did you write these? No, I didn't write that. How am I here? Let me get the out of here.
No, not at all. Look, I know you've already expressed your first impressions of Australia, but I also wanted to ask, why was this fight something that you had to do here in Australia?
Well, here's the thing, you guys. I didn't want to be in Australia. You guys can rob us with taxes. I mean, God, how do you guys live in Australia and pay these taxes? If I never come back to Australia again, I'm be the happiest guy. Or at least come back here, but not make money here, because my God, if the government robs you guys. I thought we had it bad. You guys have it way worse. But hey, free healthcare and whatnot, right?
It is. There's pros and cons to it. But
no. But they just rob you, dude. With how much money they rob from you guys, you could have a personal doctor.
But how have you been finding it so far?
No, I love it, man. I love it. You know, I'm the definition of America, but as I've been like journeying through Sydney and getting to know people, I'm starting to realize, man, there might be a mental health crisis in America. We're all nuts. I haven't seen any fat people here. Everyone's in shape. You know, there's hanging out. Everybody's moderately dressed, but it is winter. So, you know, maybe in summer shit gets a little better, but at least in winter, you know, everybody's pretty moderate. But yeah, guys, I'm starting to think there might be a mental health crisis in America. But I'm still not giving guns up like you guys did.
Or maybe people in America are a lot more confident.
I mean, you guys came in on pocket knives here. Like, as a woman, how do you like, but then again, everybody's docile, you know? I guess when they take the nuts from you guys, you don't really need to own a weapon, right, for self-defense.
No, that's right.
Yeah, there we go.
Hands up, admitting it.
Yeah, but again, you guys, Australia, everybody's been great, man. You know, I've actually loved it. And even walking down the street, you know, 99% of the people I met have been amazing.
Yeah, well, you would be hard to miss walking down the street, and once you start talking, you're very recognizable.
Yeah, no, I just run my mouth. All I do is I talk, you guys. You know, I talk more than I fight.
Well, you make for a very good interview in that case, so thank you very much.
All right.
But look, talk to us about your preparations and how you've prepared for this fight, a title fight against Israel Adesanya.
Oh, you know what, man? Like, it's been a great camp. So I'm coming off 2 back-to-back training camps. So I'm already going in there in shape, you know. Izzy's he's a hard guy to train for because he's a giant. And it's a difficult thing to train for, but, you know, I have a great camp, great coaches. So we'll get the job done. We'll fight the Chinaman. Is he Chinese or is he? No, New Zealand. No, he's Chinese. Wait, no, which ethnicity did he disown, and which one did he claim? Wait, no, yeah, China, sorry. Chinese guys. I'll fight the Chinaman.
We'll look on UFC.com.
Yeah, UFC.com. What does he claim there?
Nigerian.
Oh, so I just seen someone sent me a video of him doing like a smoke chant. Man, you guys let everybody be fucking New Zealand, or even if you're not even from New Zealand, or claim New Zealand, or represent New Zealand. I guess I might be from New Zealand.
We call it diverse.
Diverse, yeah, you know.
But look, what are you expecting this weekend, and how important is it for you to be imposing yourself and your strengths before Izzy has the chance to?
Yeah, I know. Izzy's a crafty Chinaman. Like, he's a ninja, you know. He's good. So it's just kind of like, you know, chin down, dick to dick, nose to nose, and make it a war. And, you know, if one of us gets knocked out, so be it. But that fight just has to be ugly. It has to be a war. I have to wrestle. I got to have a hard dick for 25 minutes. You're going to have to bleep this out. Are you going to bleep all this out? Okay, that's good. What do you guys do? You guys stream? You guys on the news? What do you guys do? Okay, what's it called?
It's on Sky Sport, NZ, UFC On Sky.
Okay, I like this. She's a great interview, guys. You know, for as a woman, she's online with it. She's not making me feel like an asshole. She's not putting me down. I like you. I like this organization.
Thank you very much. I'll take that as a compliment. So what does the rest of the week look like for you?
We're sparring tomorrow. I found somebody on the card to spar, so we'll be sparring tomorrow and just hanging out. I would like to find some time to go to the beach, but apparently when you fight for titles, you just schedule packed. So I'm going to be living in this hotel and just waiting to fight the Chinaman. Kind of wait.
Yeah. And how long will you stay after the fight, or are you straight out of here?
I'm out of here, you guys. I would actually love to stay here. I love to scuba dive, so just diving at the Great Barrier Reef would be awesome. But here's the thing, you guys. After a 25-minute fight, sometimes things don't work on your body. So, I'm going to prepare for a war, prepare for a death match, and then get my ass home, not be able to walk.
Okay, well, look, I'll leave it at that for now, but all the very best.
Wait, what's your name?
Rav.
Rev?
R-A-V.
R-A-V. That's a badass name. Anyways.
Thank you.
Been a damn pleasure, guys.
It's a homecoming for Auckland-based light heavyweight Tyson Pedro, who is now reunited with his West Sydney brother Tai Tuivasa, and they are both looking to get back in the winners column. Tai, thank you so much for joining us today. Look, let's just put our minds back to that Welcome to Country ceremony, the smoke ceremony that was just had. First time I've ever been to one before. It was such a nice event. What are your thoughts on that?
It's good. We get the acknowledgement, and it's been awesome. Since my first time I headlined, I made sure we had a welcome to country. I think that, one, it should be done, and two, we deserve it.
And of course, we're here in Sydney, getting ready to fight at home in front of our home crowd. How different is it than, fighting overseas?
It's been a long time, that's for sure. 6 years, so it's this camp's been really good. I've been at home. I've been around my family, my son, training with familiar faces. So I feel a lot more fresh this camp. So I'm looking forward to performing back home for all my people and getting that crowd going.
Yeah, and I know that everyone brings up shoeies with you, but I can imagine that it's just going to be a full stadium of fans walking out with one shoe on or one very wet one.
Tin in your mouth.
Also for you in terms of your career, that's a big fight for you. I feel like every fight for you, you know, in the top 10 is a big fight for you, but you know, how important is it for you to put on a great performance this weekend?
Yeah, it's a big fight for me. I'm coming off 2 losses. They're 2 guys that are at the top of the table, and a big win over Volkov gets me back up there where where I want to be.
Yeah. You mentioned those 2 losses. I mean, because off the back of that, you were on a tear of wins. So, you know, how have you been?
No one remembers the wins.
We do.
Only everyone remembers
the real ones remember.
The getting up off the ground. Yeah, no one remembers the wins.
But, you know, but in saying that, coming off the tear and then, you know, going through 2 losses, how do you swallow that and move forward?
Oh, I've been through these challenges before. You know, I went on a 3-fight loss streak. This is a job. We rock up, we win or we lose. The only thing is how you get better and how you come back. So I feel fit. I feel like I'm going to outwork him, and obviously I'm at home, so I'm coming to take his head off.
Nice one. Look, finally, before I let you leave, what's on the menu after this interview?
Air. Air for the next couple of days, and then
well, what's the meal
KFC.
You're fighting for then?
Oh, yeah, I'm feeling like a drive-through KFC after the fight. Definitely. It's been a while.
That actually sounds good. I think me and Tim won't be too far behind you, bro.
It's been a while.
Tyson, thank you so much for your time. Won't keep you for too long so you can head off and have a kai. How has it been being back on home turf?
Yeah, it's been very exciting. Getting to see my family already, and just the feeling of being home. Bit of a welcome to country this morning. So got home on Father's Day, see my daughter. That's always good.
Talk about your move to New Zealand and what this has meant for you and your career, and now you're able to bring it back home and put everything you've learned on the big stage.
Yeah, I've been in New Zealand for, now 5 camps, I think. Been there for the last 9 weeks, and it's starting to grow on me, for sure. But it's become like a family, for sure, at City Kickboxing. So all the boys have definitely welcomed me and my family, and, you know, it's just, I can feel that this is I wouldn't say end, but it's the final spot of my mixed martial arts career, final training spot. It's like everything's led to City Kickboxing, and this is where I'm going to finish it.
Wow, that's a big statement. Yeah. I mean, I know that there's plenty of fighters here in Australia that look up to you, obviously, and to Ty as well, and all the other Australian fighters, but I know that New Zealand fans are very super happy to have you home, but I've always thought, you know, is it permanent or is it temporary?
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. It's my final spot for fight camp, so whenever I can get over there for fights, I'll be over there, definitely.
Nice one. And talk to us about your preparations for this fight. And does it hit a bit different preparing for a fight in Sydney?
Nah, I guess the fighting in front of the Sydney crowd is I wouldn't say more exciting, but it's definitely giving me a bit more energy, I guess. But the preparations for the fight, you have to always be ready for, if you come in underprepared for any fights, like my last one. That's when I got sick. That's when you get hurt. So no, it's the camp's been amazing, and just ready to put on the show in front of the home crowd.
Nice. And finally, how does it feel to be back in the mix? Tai Tuivasa is here as well. How does it feel to have somewhat of a little reunion? Yeah,
no, very good. Haven't seen him in a while, so it's I think we were just saying before, it feels a bit like our last Perth show. So exciting times.
And for other fighters on UFC 293, making a statement this weekend means teeing up opportunities for the future. So obviously your brother just fought in Singapore with, man, what a result. That was an amazing result. Thoughts? You were ringside, you watched it all in action. How did you react? I know you're already pretty calm, and I'm not expecting you to be jumping up out of your seat, but...
Yeah, no, I was just really proud, I guess. You know, he was really sick that week. He was almost going to pull out, and I was trying to get ready to fight myself, but he just got to finally show everyone why they signed him so early. You know, like I always think he's one of the best strikers in the world, and he finally got to show it. And now people are like, yeah, nah, he's got that power.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to watch someone, like in your team to win a fight in such fashion, but, what are your emotions like in the net too, brother?
Oh man, it's kind of relieving, I guess. So we all just sit back and I was like, bro, I hope you didn't get the bonus, because I finished that guy faster and I didn't get the bonus. So and he ended up getting the fight of the night, or the performance of the night. I was like, what? No, I was just proud. That's my little brother, no matter what, and I want the best for him, and that was the best for him.
And now backing it up with you in Sydney, so he gets to return the favour for you.
Yeah, man, it's the way we roll, I guess. I don't see too many other brothers doing what we do, but I guess fighting's a privilege for us. We used to fight for free at the park, now we get paid for it. So I love it. I can't wait. Go out to war again with my brothers like we usually do, and have a pizza after.
I just wanted to get your reaction to that ceremony that we were just at, the smoke ceremony, a traditional Indigenous Australian ceremony. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, it was nice to get a welcoming like that from an elder, and to have us all be represented that way. And I guess it's a porphyry for the Aboriginal culture, and to be accepted like that. So it was quite nice.
I felt like, this was a discussion that me and the crew were having, that it felt quite familiar, although different.
Yep.
To have kind of a welcome like that. Did you feel the same?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm a spiritual person myself, and I think it's good for us to keep our spirit side. So, yeah, I felt right at home with that. So, yeah.
How are you? It's fight week. UFC 293. The card hasn't been to Sydney for, there's a lot of history being made on this card, but how is your preparation? And I just wanted to know, is it important to keep that big noise just noise?
Yeah, I feel good. I feel at home, comfortable. The fans have been great. It's always really good to see a lot of the UFC personnel and see that again and start it over again and be here, do all the media. Fight week is always pretty good. So, and to have the whole team here, it's quite good for us all to be together and share some laughs, cries, and all the hard work's done. All the pain's gone. Now it's just the easy part where we just express ourselves and get to relax a bit. Come Saturday night, we get to show off what we've been practicing and what we're destined to do. So yeah, I feel right at home. I feel comfortable.
6 of you from CKB on the card, obviously. 10 Australian and New Zealand fighters. It's history, again, history in the making. Some people might see that as you could be easily distracted. Other people like to stay in their cylinders and, stay focused here. Other people, do well in a bigger team environment. Where do you find your success?
Yeah, I've had a taste of all, I guess, where we've had a few fighters on the card. And I think we're no stranger to that, where we have a few fighters on a card. So I've had my last fight in North Carolina where I was by myself. I felt comfortable as well, and there wasn't pressure. It was more the confidence that I had in my training and how much I know I worked hard for and for that moment. And I just went out there and did my thing. And this is no different. I think just having everyone here is everyone's in their own world, going through their own emotions. So. Yeah, like I said, I think all the hard work is done in the gym, all the conversations are done in the gym, and now it's just where we get to express a bit more outside of that and relax a little more. This is the easy part. So, yeah, I think in the future there'll be a lot more. It's growing massively, the sport in New Zealand and Australia. So. I think we're going to be familiar with having a lot more fighters on the card each time.
So you've mentioned that this is the first time you're fighting, 2 fights in the same year. Does it help, to stay in camp, to stay, on the tools for a UFC rather than just training to stay fit?
Yep, 100%. It's
harkening back to how I used to train and fight before I got into the UFC. It just keeps you sharper, and you just ride the wave, and it goes up and up, and yeah, just like, life gets in the way, I guess, and that's what the circumstances have kept me outside of the cage and only fighting once a year. But I'm looking forward to getting a second one in and then a third one in later on this year.
2 big shows you're on in 1 year too. I mean, you mentioned twice in 1 year, but 2 very big shows.
Yeah, 2 pay-per-views, Perth and now Sydney. And then you never know, maybe the third one can be the New Year's show. So yeah, we got a big team here too. We got six of us all fighting on the same card. So the levels are just growing as we get further into this UFC gig.
I know you've been to many, mihi whakato, pōwhiri, traditional welcomings in the past. Today, you were all welcomed with the traditional Australian Indigenous smoke ceremony. What did you think of that?
Yeah, that was cool. I feel like I've done something similar in the past, but not to that level, and the thorough explanation of everything. It felt really cool, and have all of our boys, like a mixed race of boys too. You got like Nigerian, Polynesian and Aborigine, Zimbabwe, French, Māori, Scottish. Like, it was a cool mix of people as well to be welcomed onto the land like that.
What do you get off of ceremonies like that?
Just reminders, constant reminders of that we are all like spiritual beings and that we're connected to the earth. And it just like every day you wake up and you sort of forget that, and you got to keep reminding yourself throughout the day. Like even Izzy and I, we took our shoes off on Tyson and we just got grounded with the earth, because it's probably been like 5 or 6 days since I've actually touched the earth. So things like that ceremony, they remind you of the reality of this world, not this isn't real to me. The reality is like the spiritual.
Yeah, the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Are you quite a nosy person when you go to different places about, like history on things like that?
Well, when it's fight week, so you don't have the time. But ideally, yes, I love cultures and subcultures, and like I don't just even mean like Māori culture, but even say like sneaker culture, just how different people think and how the group think works. But yeah, it would be cool to get to know more about Sydney and the lay of the land and how everything's come about. But yeah, we got one job, one focus, and that's Sunday.
Absolutely. And look, it feels like, I mean, we're not back in the city kickboxing gym, but it feels like everyone is here. The coaches are all here. The team are all here, whether they're on the card or not. What's that feeling like?
It's slowly, as I've gotten more fights in the UFC, it's gone from me being the only fighter on a card to 2 or 3 of us. I remember we did the 3-peat in Melbourne, to now it's just growing. So it's new, but it's the same. Now instead of 3 or 4, there's 6 of us. Yeah, and that only tells me that in the future there's going to be like 8 or 9 of us, all split over 2 cards in the same week, and just what we thought was going to happen 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago is happening right now.
Don't miss it, whānau. Purchase your pay-per-view now for UFC 293 at Sky Arena or Sky Sport Now. The prelims are coming to you live from Sky Open. Kia ora e te iwi, we are here in Sydney on the ground ahead of UFC 293, where 10 athletes from both Australia and New Zealand will be competing this weekend.
Travelling in a freighter combi on a hippie trailhead full of zombies. I met a strange lady, she made me nervous. She took me in and gave me breakfast. She said, do you come from a land down under?
So tune into UFC On Sky this week for all the behind-the-scenes footage and exclusive interviews before the big show.
Book UFC 293 on Sky Arena.
Or on Sky Sport Now.
UFC 293 this Sunday.
Live from Sydney. Don't you miss it.